There is a war coming. A terrible war. There will be chaos. Rivers of blood in the streets. I know it.
Every criminal in the city will start making moves.
Follow up on the Arkham connection.
Arkham's been closed for 10 years.
Man, you're hurting yourself.
I'm testing myself.
Somebody has to take over.
It might as well be me.
I'm gonna do this right. You're beginning to irritate me.
However dark and scary the world might be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
Anyone ever tell you when you walk, you look just like a penguin?
No one's ever told me that.
This is Justice. You're more a cockroach than penguin. Welcome to Legends of Gotham, where we talk about Fox's hit series Gotham, set in the world of Batman. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Pinot Noir. Wait, Grigio. And Marie DeSimone. Who am I?
Yes, and
I'm celebrating early.
Welcome, everybody. Anne-Marie's already popped a bottle open. I better get one out, too.
Bottles.
It is our 100th episode of Legends of Gotham, so
cheers!
Bottoms up, folks. That is alcoholic.
Woo!
If I've ever tasted alcoholic alcohol.
Yours is water.
But we're coming to you 8:30 p.m. EST, twitch.tv/universebox, along with our lovely chatters. We have a few people in there now. Cobble Potteries, Lone Wolf Pack, Win, the Powell family. I'm sure there are going to be more people popping in there as we go along. It's going to be great, but very exciting, Anne-Marie. Did you ever think we'd make it 100 episodes on this podcast after making it 100 episodes on our last one?
No.
No?
I wasn't sure, really.
Well, we did.
It's a lot of podcasts.
We
talk to each other a lot, and we talk to each other a lot online. It's so crazy.
We actually reached 100 episodes of this podcast before they reached 100 episodes of Gotham.
High five.
High five.
Boop.
But, we're going to be talking about this week's episode and everything, but along with that, we have had some people send in some special greetings.
Some well wishes.
Some greetings from Gotham. So we're going to play a few of those right now. We're going to play them throughout the episode. We're going to start off with a couple really good ones.
We got some good ones.
Okay, so first up, from executive producer of Gotham, John Stevens. Take it
Friend
away, John.
of the show.
Hi, guys. This is John Stevens from Gotham on Fox, and I just wanted to call and congratulate you guys on your 100th episode. That is an amazing amount of time spent talking about television. And to that, I applaud you. Wonderful. Here's to 100 more. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, John. You obviously don't listen to the show.
And oh, no, he does.
He said do 100 more. Are you going to do 100 more on your own?
Oh, yeah, that's probably true because we are closing up shop here.
We're closing up shop soon.
Just after this season's over. But we're going to celebrate tonight.
We're celebrating.
Stop being dreary like this week's episode of Gotham, Anne-Marie. Next up, we have a special message from John and Derek over at the Gotham TV podcast. Take it away, guys.
Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie, this is Derek.
Hey.
Hi, Bill and Anne-Marie, it's John here.
Hello. From Gotham TV Podcast. We wanted to wish you a very happy 100th episode.
Absolutely.
Well done for getting to 100 episodes. We're only on 84.
Yeah, really good for the 100th episode of Legends of Gotham. Yeah, it's a great milestone.
Yeah.
And we're really, really happy for you both.
Yeah, very proud of you. Sorry we haven't been in contact for a while. We're very far behind over in Ireland, unfortunately. We used to do a season wrap-up with you guys every year. It looks like we're not going to get there this time.
I know, it's such a shame that we're so far behind in episodes, but been loving the podcast as always, and it's great that you've hit that centenary of podcasts for Gotham.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We will speak to you soon. Hopefully we'll catch up with you during the summertime.
Absolutely. Massive congratulations, and keep on up the good work.
Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you very much, John and Derek. Yeah, if you guys want to do a round table, we'll be.
I'm sure we can do that this summer.
Definitely, but we're sorry that our friends over in the UK, England, London, Ireland, that whole area
couldn't get their act together and air Gotham normal.
They are just so far behind in everything from America.
Now.
I blame Brexit. I blame Brexit.
Please don't go there.
We're getting political
Don't
on
get
this
political.
100th episode.
Do not get political.
No, but seriously, I know they're way behind, and they're going to be talking about episodes 10 or 15 weeks after you've watched them. The Gotham TV podcast, if you're looking for a replacement show, we highly recommend those guys.
As long as you're on European time.
They are our Bay of Gotham podcast for sure.
Love ya.
Okay, we're going to have some more special greetings and whatnot from people as we move through the episode. But why don't we go ahead and get started talking about this week's episode, Anne-Marie? I think you should probably go ahead and hit us up with the rhyming riddling episode summary.
Why does Barnes wear a painted-on mask to separate his present from his past? How many statues did the court make? Their maps can survive a Joker-sourced break. Will Penguin kill Riddler? We'll find out next week. Can Ed stand up to an army of freaks? Is Lee damned now, or will Jim clean her blood? Whatever comes next, all will be judged.
All will be judged. Anne-Marie, what'd you think?
Good episode. Two
You liked
thumbs up.
Two
How about
thumbs
you?
Up?
Two thumbs up.
Not a thumb and then a cut-off thumb?
Uh-oh. Jerome's in the chat again.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back, Jerome. It's been a while.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad Jerome could join us for our 100th episode.
Exactly.
We really appreciate it, buddy. Okay, so, no, I liked it. I liked it. I feel like we said this last week, it felt like a little bit of a gluey episode.
It was very gluey.
Kicking us ahead to the finale.
Just enough.
But I have a feeling that starting next week, it's just going to be all wheels off this car, Yeah, the car's going to be rolling with all the wheels off of it, and it's going to be great.
Interesting.
But we do want to talk about this week's episode, which I enjoyed.
Good things
I
happen.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to start off talking about, I call this point the whole bloody affair. Because even for Gotham, this was an especially gruesome episode.
I guess. Now that I read your list.
But I thought it was worth noting the extreme violent moments that happened throughout the episode. So here, we're going to go ahead and count these down. Okay, so Selena stabs Yanni Bruce.
Yeah.
Yanni Bruce attacks multiple times with the fire poker.
Yeah.
Yanni Bruce headbutts Alfred.
Repeatedly.
Mario slashes his wrist, then Lee drinks his blood.
That was repulsive.
And a dream. Ed gets beat down by the guards. Penguin slashes the guard's throat after having his throat fake slashed.
With Jell-O.
Alfred stabs Catherine's hand.
That was
probably
great.
the most extreme
was so
moment of
good.
the episode.
I don't know. This next one was.
Catherine is decapitated. Barnes gets his hand shot off. The Talon cuts off his own finger. And then there were other miscellaneous punches, knockout gas, etc., etc., etc. All in all, this might be the most messed up episode of Gotham ever. So well done, guys.
I applaud you as well.
Yes.
I may actually think that some of the hashtag maniacs was a bit more gruesome, but now that I look at your list.
Yeah, this was just, Gotham has had more gruesome moments overall, but this was just a ton of gruesome moments compressed into just one episode.
Exactly.
By the way, the Derby Kid, Rebecca Johnson, co-host of Supergirl Radio, has joined us in the chat room.
Whoop,
and
whoop.
Bobby Hawk's in there too, and Jerome. Bobby Hawk asked.
Bobby wants to know where everybody is. He's like, where's Raj Ghul? Where's Valerie Vale? $1 million questions.
I think after last night's episode, you can assume that they've been disemboweled, probably.
Well, Valerie's long gone, yeah.
And Gavin in the chat room says, "Hey Barnes, can I give you a hand?"
Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. But Anne-Marie, what was your favorite violent moment from this episode?
Oh, well, Catherine getting decapitated, of course.
Yes, definitely.
Actually, no, I take that back.
We don't have to ask who's that lady anymore.
Who's that lady? No, I take it back though. I think actually Alfred stabbing Catherine's hand, because that surprised me more than anything.
Yeah, you expect Barnes to
you expect the
decapitate a
executioner
person.
to execute someone.
Yeah.
However, you don't necessarily expect the butler to come in and stab a bitch.
Yeah.
Jada made it okay.
He's not a cop. He's a butler.
Exactly. I'm not a cop. I'm a butler.
A total badass butler.
Badass butler. Makes it great.
Is probably just like a hair's breadth away from being a criminal himself.
Well, wasn't he? He was in the military, right?
The
British
he was
military.
in the military. He might have. I can't remember if this version was an MI5 or not. Like the British Secret Service and all that. But yeah, he has a history for sure.
Interesting.
Let's see. Bobby Hawk in the chat room asked, "What happened to when Ben McKenzie said Gordon would become a DC hero?" I don't know.
I don't
there's
know
still time.
because you know what? He said that in July, and everybody went, like he wasn't supposed to say it. So they might have had to backtrack on that
Yeah,
one.
it's
Mr.
possible they
Mackenzie.
changed plans,
They might
for
have
sure.
changed plans.
See, Lone Wolf Pack says, I loved Alfred stabbing her. That Butler is clearly about that life. Hashtag thug life. Very
Nice.
true. Hashtag Butler life. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And then Gavin says Butler's dad was a Time Lord. Very true.
Oh, yeah.
And the Derby Kid says Alfred wasn't messing around.
Nope.
It was pretty extreme.
It was pretty extreme.
It was pretty extreme. For sure. Okay, so Anne Marie, you wanted to talk about something, right?
Dude, Lee has gone over to the dark side. And I would just like to say thank you, Lee, for finally doing something. Just doing something.
I'm not clapping.
You're not clapping? Okay, so typically in Gotham, the villains are a bit more interesting than the heroes. Let's just be honest. Though I think we're going to get a little bit of a switch on that soon. And Lee has basically been really, really boring for about a year.
You know, I saw someone mention online today, they pointed out that both of Jim's main love interests were really boring. People didn't like them that much until they became a villain. If
Okay,
Lee,
that's
you
fair.
know, kind of translates out.
Well, I mean, she kind of has to turn into some sort of a villain. I don't see her trying to take over the underworld like Miss Keene.
Yeah.
But she ain't good no mo.
Yeah. By the way, Gavin in the chat room says hashtag BatButtCat.
Oh, Bat Butt Cat. Yes, bringing it back.
We're going to get a BatButtCat team soon. Definitely.
Yes. Let's see. Lee's been pretty boring for about a season. Hopefully, now that she's infected with the Tetch virus, she will have some pizzazz. And you could see it in her face. Like, you could feel like she was like, okay, we can do this. Now, here's the only thing I'm going to have to say is, please do not become Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that thrown around a lot.
Well, I think a lot of fans are saying that, but
yes.
I almost want to say that I read some creators say that it won't be a character we already know.
I don't
when
recall.
Harley shows up.
I feel like I'm on the stand. I do not recall. But
guilty. Sorry. Go ahead.
Drinking. No, I just really would hate to see that, actually, because I don't think she'd be a really good fit for that character.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all. There's nothing
Yeah,
there.
as the Derby Kid says in the chat room, Lee equals Harley. How do you make that leap? And the Powell family agrees, no to Harley.
No to Harley. I think that they will introduce a new character at Arkham, since I believe that's where Jerome is right now. I really don't know. He could still be at the, hey, we're sewing your face on infirmary. That's going to become Harley, because that is confirmed. I just think that would make a bit more sense. However, I think that Lee will... I think that Lee will be how and why they eventually find a cure to the Touch virus. She's closer to all of the main cast members than anyone else who's been infected, so there's a higher sense of urgency, and I think that Lucius was working on it with her anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where that's going to come from.
You know where I think they're going to find the cure?
Where?
In Arkham Asylum. Because...
You think there's already a cure there?
Well, no. If you remember, Jervis Tetch was immune to the virus.
Right.
So maybe they can use his blood to make some sort of antibody, antivirus kind of thing. But
is he really immune, or is he infected?
He could be infected too. We did theorize that.
We
earlier
theorized
this
that,
season, for
and it
sure.
makes so much sense. So there's that.
Let's see, over in the chat room here.
It's a busy chat room tonight. I love it.
Yeah, the Derby Kid says, Morena Baccarin plays a great villain, but I'm sad that Lee did such a dumb thing. I hope they find an antidote.
Well, I think she did the dumb thing because she felt responsible for Mario's death.
Yeah.
Because Tetch basically told her it was her fault. Because she
Plus,
loved
anyone
Jim.
she talks to, they're like, oh, no, the virus is awesome. Do the virus.
Virus! Yeah!
You won't be cool unless you do it, Lee. Yeah, peer
Yes.
pressure. Let's see. And Lone Wolf Pack says she is clearly going to be the big death of this season if she's not returning. They're setting that up, it seems. I could totally see that. Although I feel like because she was at the upfronts for Gotham, that she's probably going to be back.
I wouldn't see, but I don't actually
limited
take that
capacity.
as that because she's, what's his face's boo?
Yeah, Ben McKenzie's.
Yeah, that guy.
/ Jim Gordon.
/ Jim Gordon. It's his alter ego. So that's I'm not quite sure about that.
I definitely think the consensus in our chat room is no, don't make
Please
Lee
don't let
Harley.
her be Harley. I know that's already decided, so please let it not be true.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of things that might not be true,
Okay.
my next point I've titled Yanni Bruce, face or fiction.
Okay.
We and the characters in the show have been operating under the assumption that Yanni Bruce is a clone of Bruce Wayne, but something the shaman said to Bruce in this episode gives me some pause. Okay, so follow along with me here. Okay, so first, he mentions that the court's talons are culled from orphanages, then trained in much the same way Bruce was trained in the past few episodes, where they put away all their pain so they can, be submissive to the shaman and do whatever they say regardless. In fact, we even see the Talon in the room there with him. He cuts off his finger and he doesn't react to the dismemberment at all. Blink. Almost like he doesn't feel pain, which is exactly like Yanni Bruce. So I might lose all my credibility doing this on our 100th episode. It's probably about time. But how much do you want to bet that Yanni Bruce isn't actually a Bruce Wayne clone, but an orphan who the court modified to look like Bruce Wayne and then trained up as a Talon and everything? Now, you might be saying, how would that work? Don't forget.
How would that work, Bill?
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
You're welcome.
Don't forget about Dr. Simon back in episode 8 of this season. He was a face transplant specialist for Gotham's underworld. Perhaps he was able to transplant a Wayne-esque face onto the kid who eventually became Yanni Bruce. Maybe they did some sort of memory wipe or something there too. Like, Hugo Strange, he's king of the memory wipes.
They're all king of the memory.
And then, to go on from that, perhaps the court got Kristen Kringle's face from her corpse after I had buried it, then transplanted it onto Isabella. So again, I might be totally wrong, but I have a feeling the clones this season will be revealed as Hush-esque doppelgangers. If you know who Hush is in the comics, you get that reference.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I definitely... What do you think of that, Anne-Marie?
This is how I feel when you do these wild predictions. I think it's completely crazy. And you know what? It's probably true then.
Yeah.
Because almost every time that there's one of these Bill theories, exactly, Cobble Potteries, oh snap, he's onto something. Exactly. Pal Finley, but where would the clone nosebleeds come from? It could be like just a matter of putting the bodies together. It breaks down.
Yeah, that's very, maybe he's rejecting the face.
Oh, maybe they didn't put the face on till almost the time when everything went blah. So,
yeah, Lone Wolf Pack asks, could the clone be a mini Clayface-esque person? I suppose that could be the case, but it seems like, they set up this face transplant specialist earlier in the season. It would be a shame not to kind of pay off on that later on in the season.
Gavin points out about that we've already met Hush.
Yeah, we did back in season 1, but he wasn't Hush-esque yet.
No,
and I mean,
wasn't.
this could still be...
Could be his
kind of foreshadowing the technology that Hush eventually uses to become,
right.
Hush.
It could be his inspiration.
But yeah, that's my kind of thinking right now. Okay. I still think that Yanni Bruce is being set up for a selfless sacrifice before the end of the season. That's still
Yanni
my guess.
He became attached. He became attached.
I also think it's a possibility, since he has if he has had this whole mind wipe thing happen, that it might come on the end of him getting his memory back somehow and realizing who he was. And maybe we find out. The one kind of weak point in my theory here is that they would have had to find a face that looked a lot like Bruce Wayne. Yeah. So, I mean, it's possible they could have grown the face. Just the face.
At this point, anything's possible.
Yeah, grow the face. Grow the face. That's all I'm saying.
Why are you chanting that?
I don't know, because I like to chant about faces.
To chant. You do.
Okay, what's up, Anne-Marie?
Okay, so what exactly are those locations in the Crystal Owl map marking? Sorry, guys, I caught the funk this week. So my guess, and a guess that seems to be on the show, is that they're like the court's safe houses, or where they have their own little spots. And you know what? That completely makes sense. And they can check this pretty easy since they already know of a few of them, because we've broken into 4 now. And it feels like the most likely option, because it would be very excessive to make multiple Crystal Owls containing a map for this one plan. In fact, they would have had to know that they were going to do this plan way early in the season when Bat Cat stole the other one.
Well, I mean, it just comes down to good sense. I mean, anytime you're storing a massive amount of data on some sort of storage device like a Crystal Owl, it's always good to keep an off-site backup just in case the first one gets destroyed.
Right, and you know what? The first one's the one they got put back together.
Yeah.
Which is kind of impressive.
That's very true.
So that
and
feels
the
like
image was still pristine too.
it was amazing. that guy was like on it. Also, these crystal elves feel like something that have been passed down for like years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
So the information has to be something that was needed repeatedly over years and years and years. It would be just so weird to make these just for this one plan.
Well, maybe it's where all the, because I mean, I don't know if they're going to go fully this way in Gotham, but the Talons in the shaman kind of talks about it tonight or in last night's episode. But you know, the Talons are they're trained, then they're kind of put into cold storage and stored in coffins until they're needed again. So maybe these are all locations where there are Talons.
That's possible.
Because I mean, I'm trying to think, where was the one place that they went to that was shown on a map? Because I know when they went and found the owl, then they went to a place. Was it the courtroom? I feel like there was a Talon there, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's maybe that's what it is. I don't know. A couple potteries over in the chat room says, "Oh well, you know Gotham. Folks appear and sometimes just disappear off the face of the earth, so to speak, because they're talking about Scarecrow and whatever happened to him."
Oh, yeah. He's in the
hospital. Last scene in the hospital.
Strapped to a bed.
Which, by the way, is something very interesting. I'll see if I can dig it up here real quick. I found a graphic this weekend that showcased the Scarecrow's original origin story. I thought people might find it interesting here. I'll put it up on the screen real quick. And it's over on my Twitter, @BillMeeks. But it's basically, I guess he's been rejected from a job interview because he wasn't dressed nice. So, and later in his home, Crane ponders, "The fools, do they think I would give up my precious books just to buy clothes? Bah, they think I'm strange and I look like a scarecrow. A scarecrow. They judge human values by money. If I had money, they'd respect me. And I could buy more books. Yes, if only I had money. Lots and lots of money." He takes the completely wrong lesson from it, which I thought was pretty funny.
Over in the chat room, Pal Family asks, "Wasn't Dick Grayson's ancestor a Talon in the comics?" To which Gavin replies, "His great-grandfather."
Yes, there is a connection to the Grayson family.
And we've already had the one. The Flying Graysons have been around.
Yeah, although I don't think they've been around since season one.
No, but they were introduced just enough. Mm-hmm. That's all we needed.
Yeah, and Bobby also points out they were the Gray Sons of Gotham. I remember that now that you guys mentioned it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate it.
You're cool.
Okay,
100 episodes, yay!
100 episodes, whoa! We're gonna get back to the main episode discussion in just a moment. But
where
first,
did you put all the things? Oh, there they are.
But first, we just wanted to mention, we are going to be shutting down shop here in just a couple weeks. Yeah. But we do have a Patreon if you want to, just throw us a couple shekels, buy us a glass of wine.
Buy me a bottle of wine, please.
To congratulate us on 100 episodes and almost 300 episodes total, I think we figured out the other day.
It's like something ridiculous.
Podcasts we've done in the past 5 years. But it's patreon.com/universebox. And we like to give a shout out to anyone giving $5 or more per month.
Did you add that new one? Yes.
Yes, I did. And the $5 star patrons this month are Becca Baca, Harry Steidler, Angel, Bobby Hawk, Monica Jones, Other Anne Marie, Casa Commotion, Miss Thistlemoon, Sage of Earth A.K. Patty, Robert Cattler, Hope Mullinex, Jessica Gonzalez, and Patrick Cohn. We love you guys. You're the dreamer of dreams. If you want to toss us a $5 on the way out, go to patreon.com/universebox. And remember to think outside.
Buy me $2 Chuck.
Cobble Bahadari says "da," and Gavin says "never close up shop."
I just get you drinking.
And then Lone Wolfpack says, "As soon as I find you, you close up shop. Why can't I have nice things?" And then Gavin says, "As long as Barnes is still bald, you will stay." Well, I think that Tetch virus is going to grow.
It's very demanding. It's going to grow in a whole nice head of hair.
I think you should take that up with Michael Chiklis, sir. He's not bald by choice. Okay, so we're going to get back to the main discussion in just a second. We do have a couple other little special recordings that we have here we wanted to play. First is up from Rebecca Johnson.
The Derby Kid over in the chat room.
Co-host of Supergirl Radio. Take it away, Rebecca.
What's up, Legends of Gotham?
What's up?
Rebecca Johnson, and I just wanted to congratulate you on reaching your 100th episode. I first encountered you all as podcasters through our shared interest in Once Upon a Time. So when I eventually quit watching that show,
Good choice.
I was glad to see that you wanted to watch another show that I was also planning on watching that just happened to be centered around a young Bruce Wayne, the GCPD, and Batman's Fantastic Rogues Gallery. The early goings of Gotham were rough for me, but it's been wonderful to see the show get better and better and better. And part of what makes watching Gotham so fun is hearing your perspectives of it, including delightful segments like "Look at this Joker,"
Look at
or
him!
the use of inventive nicknames like Pingy Pants. Bill and Anne-Marie, I just wanted to thank you for your enthusiasm for the show, your example of how to create community, and providing an opportunity for fans to share their thoughts. Happy 100th episode!
Hey.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. And it goes without saying, but one of the joys we've had of doing this show is hearing from you every week and hearing you say, "What's up, Legends of Gotham?"
Because it gives us a chance to go, "What's up?"
And maybe now that you're caught up, you can join us for the next couple episodes, too.
And your show's over.
Yeah, your show's over. So you have no excuse not to be in
I have
chat room
checked
every
your
week.
schedule. Your show
Voicemail,
is over. I
Rebecca,
expect you
you
here.
owe us.
I don't care if you're on the treadmill. I expect you here.
Okay, and one more voicemail before we get back into the discussion. This is from Tom Calderon, a.k.a. Joe the Cop, one of the regular extras on the first couple seasons of Gotham. Take it away, Tom.
Hey, it's Tom Calderoni here, giving a shout-out to my pals at Legends of Gotham on your historic and epic 100th episode. And a giant thanks, always, for your support of Joe the Cop. See you guys around Gotham soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Hey, we always look forward to your tweets on Gotham, #Gotham Monday.
We invented that.
We did invent.
We're just gonna keep
Gotham
saying
Monday.
that because that's all we've got.
And we have an F yeah Tom from the chat room. So so people love you, Tom.
Yes.
Keep doing what you do.
Do what you do.
Okay, speaking of loving things, you know what I loved in this episode?
What? What did you love, Bill?
The supervillain team up.
Supervillain team up.
I loved how the team up between Edward, I mean the Riddler, and
Edward.
The Riddler and Penguin worked out. They are both so set on killing each other that they are willing to put aside their differences and escape so that it's a fair fight.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. If nothing else, I thought this team up made it apparent that the two rogues are true equals now, where before it was kind of Penguin tootling Ed and then crushing on Ed and, all sorts of machinations. But now it feels like they're equals, meaning that their eventual battle is going to be outright spectacular. I also really enjoyed that in the last scene, it was a nice little touch that, like most other supervillains, neither one of the boys could resist revealing their master plan to the other one. They're both like, "Oh, I have Babs and the whole Gotham underworld. Oh, I have all the monster freaks or the army of freaks and stuff." They couldn't resist monologuing to each other before they parted ways. A monologue built for two, I say.
A monologue built for two.
What did you think about their team up this episode, Emery?
I thought it was pretty funny that they just sort of kept kind of ratting each other out. Like every time, Edward would get an upper hand, Penguin would be like bang, 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 and calling him even though he's being like knocked out, he's like passing out and he's like, "I will call the people." And, it just, then when he came to, he's like, "Did they beat you?" He's like, "They did." I just enjoy their dynamic, but I have since season 1. Something fun.
Voicemail, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So no, I find them highly entertaining, and I wish we had them teamed up a little longer. Though I think a face-off between the two of them will be quite epic.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Like I'm just looking forward to seeing like all of the characters sort of butting heads.
The villains.
In the last episode,
I want to see a face-off, like all of them coming down the street on opposite sides, like little. So, West Side Story. That's it. I'm sitting here going. I'm like, what is that musical?
We're gonna have a rumble tonight.
That's what I want to see. When do we get the Gotham musical episode? Isn't it about time we start asking for that?
I've been asking for it for a while. We got a little taste with Pangy Pants. a couple episodes back in that dream sequence. Cobble Pottery's over in the chat room asked, do you think we'll actually get a war, or will they just be forced to join forces against something bigger?
I think we'll start there, and then we'll get the war.
The last time we were promised a war in Gotham, we got like 4 dudes walking down the street in hoods. So
well,
I'm
we
hoping for
also,
at least
I mean,
12
we did
dudes this time.
we did. We're ignoring the hoods. The hoods was not a war. No, I think the biggest war was in the big empty room warehouse where all the action happens on
where all
Gotham.
the Ford commercials happen.
Yeah, all the Ford commercials as well as all the action happens. Where it was like Maroni and all of that sort of stuff happened. I think that was our biggest like fight.
Yeah.
And I would like another one of those, please.
I have a feeling you might get your wish.
You think I'm going to get it?
Yeah, I think they're going to go all out at the end of this season. I'm thinking. Because it feels like we've been doing a lot of shooting on static sets without a lot of big special effects and stuff. So it feels like maybe they're saving up the money? Budget for that 2-hour season finale that we have coming up in a couple weeks. You know? Okay, so you wanted to talk about My Pal Al, right?
Your pal Al. Okay, so Alfred... This is a man that knows how to move with a purpose. Like, it drives me nuts that, like, Jim and Harvey are like, la, 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 all the time. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just lollygagging, and Alfred's like, where have you been? I've been calling your phone. Why have you... Like, he gets done.
I thought it was a little unfair of him to not call up Jim for like 6 months, not to say, hey, you want to go bowling? You want to come over to the mansion?
Would you like to have a beer?
And then he's like, hey, I need you right now. I don't care what you have going on,
Right. Well, there is that problem.
And then it just so happened that both of their problems were
the same problem.
Intertwined. Yeah.
Right. So through the episode, the second he sees Selena fighting Bruce, he jumps right in actually to see what's going on and kind of to save her, which is quite impressive because we know he's not a fan.
Although he was really cold to her. Like, he was like, you're just like your mom. Run away.
I'm getting to that.
Well, I'm just talking.
No. But like within seconds realized that it was not really Bruce. At least he knew to believe her because he could have just been like, shh. But, Yanni ratted himself out anyway. But once him and Selena both come back from being knocked out, and he's trying to find Gordon, finally, for help, because he really should have been asking for help for a while ago. Mm-hmm. But he realizes Selena's essentially useless. He stops paying her literally any attention. And he's like, all right, I'm out of here, because obviously I can't get anything done here. You're not going to help me, you little street rat. And off goes. Mm-hmm. But him going into the GCPD and just, like, taking over was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he actually got things, stab her. Okay, now you're going to tell me where Bruce is.
And Jim and Harvey were just like, letting him go. Like,
yeah. And then they put him in charge of her.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh no.
That can't end well.
This will not end well. So, no, I'm just, he's taken a bit of a backseat lately, but it's nice to see Alfred move with a purpose.
Definitely. I really enjoyed Alfred in this episode. Although I was a little disappointed that he didn't have like a secret inkling that Yanni Bruce was not actual Bruce.
See, that's my problem is like, you could tell from the very first scene he had an inkling. Mm-hmm. There's no way this kid was such a good actor.
Well, I guess it was just a situation where he was like,
he had no reason not
weird.
To believe.
Like that, what we thought was him kind of catching on to Yanni Bruce's scheme was just him being like, yeah, that's weird. Then he went about his day and made tea or whatever. Let's see. Over in the chat room, Cobble Pottery says, it was amazing when Alfred dealt out the never come back message like Selena did to her mom. Ouch, man.
Right.
And then Jerome also says, in regards to the season finale, Jerome will return, Gotham will burn. In this game of checkers, it's Jim's turn. A little bit of a rhyme there.
Little Riddler rhyme in there.
Yes, definitely. Thanks. Okay, so I wanted to I wanted to talk a little bit about we barely touched on the shaman and Bruce stuff at all. So I wanted to ask a question. Who's playing who? Who's playing who? Okay, so at the end of the episode, I got the distinct impression that Bruce is running a Batman's gambit on the shaman. Regardless of locking his emotions up in a mind safe or whatever, I don't think the real Bruce Wayne would vow blind allegiance to the shaman unless it was part of a bigger plan.
Yeah.
I'm also fairly certain that the shaman's memory that he shared with Bruce is a total sham, and that the shaman is likely the leader of the Court of Owls, who we haven't seen yet, who Catherine denied being.
Basically laughed at Jim for thinking he was the leader.
Or she was. Yeah. But so I'm thinking it's either going to be the shaman or his boss. I think he's still completely loyal to the court or pulling the strings of the court, but he showed Bruce a fake memory to get him to do what he wanted. But regardless of the machinations on both sides, I'm curious to see what the shaman asked Bruce Wayne to do. Now that he has a weapon, he can point somewhere. Does he really want to take down the court? Is he loyal to the court, or is he going to convince Bruce that Gordon is a member and not to be trusted, so Bruce can take Gordon down? I mean, I guess we'll find out next week or in the next couple weeks.
Possibly, yes.
Did you think that Bruce was completely taken over by the shaman's mind-safe ways?
You know, I kind of did.
You did?
I did. I don't always catch on to those things like you do, though. So I'm curious to see, because, you know, now you've planted the seed in my head that he's pulling one
With
over on the shaman. No acupuncture. That stuff scares me. Though I totally could believe that it was a fake memory. I feel like we're having a little like Harry Potter pensive action. So that was a little strange. So I don't know. I will be curious what Bruce will do once he gets back into familiar territory. Lately, he's just hanging out in pajamas.
Over in the chat room, let's see. Dean says the shaman is playing everybody.
Yeah, I believe that.
The Powell family thinks he works for Roz. I could see that too. It's hard to say what's going to happen, but I'm so excited to find out.
Yes.
Okay, you wanted to talk a little more about Selina, right?
All right, Selina, you make no sense, girl. You make no sense. She literally came back from the dead to warn Alfred about Bruce not being Bruce. And when the opportunity to actually do something about it comes up, she can't be bothered because it doesn't benefit her.
She did stab him, though. She at least stabbed Johnny Bruce.
Okay, but what did that... I mean, all that did was tell Alfred that this is not the real Bruce. Like, the way she was acting, she was like, you know, a lover scorned that she needed to go, like... have some redemption or something. And you know, everybody loves a redemption arc. Excuse me. But it just seemed like she just couldn't be bothered, and that made no sense to me. However, completely partially unrelated, how was she was so hardcore channeling Michelle Pfeiffer in this episode. It was insane. When she stood up on the table or whatever, I was like, oh.
Well, I've always said that about her, that she
I know,
looks
but
like
it's like
Michelle
more
Pfeiffer.
and more.
Yeah.
Like she's leaning into it. They're helping her lean into it, and it's beautiful.
The Derby Kid says Selina throwing down on Yanni Bruce was awesome.
It really
was.
was.
Very true.
It really was.
Potteries agrees. I think that's what the character means. The Powell family asks, was Selina's coldness an act, or was the fall and Ivy healing a permanent change in her character? I think that's kind of what they were going through with the cats crawling all over, because that kind of signals the change in the Catwoman movies.
Right.
Anyway, so I have a feeling that we're going to see a slightly darker Selina moving forward.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of knew we were going to get a slightly darker, but it was one of those things where Bruce is her soft spot.
Yeah. I think the cats crawling all over opened her up to the darkness, and then Alfred's slam there at the end really pushed her over the top.
Well, yeah, sure. I'm sure. Okay,
so what's eating Nathaniel Barnes is what I want to know. Now, Barnes finally steps into the spotlight this week as the executioner, complete with costume and painted on mask and everything. And this moment has been building for quite a while. Last summer, Michael Chiklis even said that this evolution of the character is why he took the part in the first place.
That's crazy.
So it had a lot to live up to, at least in my mind. And I found it a little uneven throughout the episode. Given his, his whole mission, it seemed weird that he was so quick to become Catherine's errand boy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he realized the position was beneath him eventually by decapitating her, but still, it seemed a little weird that he was so willing to do the court's bidding. And then it was also odd that Barnes tore through the GCPD to get to Jim, considering his respect of the law is a big part of his demented motivation to become the executioner. I thought, attacking Jim Gordon, one thing, Harvey maybe because he's so tight with Jim Gordon, but the entire GCPD, it just didn't seem in character for Barnes considering his touched up motivation.
Right.
But in a lot of ways it felt like he was there to let Jim know that Lee was investigating the virus independently, so that when Jim found out that the virus was missing at the end of the episode, he was like, oh, Lee, because she was asking questions about it without letting us know. And as cool as it was to see Chickless be a total super badass supervillain, complete with jumping out windows and jumping down from the rafters and everything.
That was awesome, by the way.
It felt like a bit of a waste to have his main function in the story amount to an info dump to set up Jim's final revelation about where the virus ran off to at the end of the episode. Now, will the Executioner return? I mean, I'd love to see him again in a more fully featured story where he's really the main focus of the episode. I'd love to see him. But as Alvarez says, he's in the wind, so I guess we'll see. They could leave it here if they wanted to, or they could pick up sometime later and he just shows up one day.
I think he's going to show up when all of the craziness is going on.
Yeah.
Like Jerome will be out, the owls will be hooting around. Like I think some craziness is going to happen and in comes Chickless.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy.
I did enjoy Alvarez's use of the phrase "in the wind" though, because they on Michael Chiklis's probably his biggest show he's ever done, The Shield. It was a phrase they used constantly to talk about criminals who were missing in action or who they couldn't find. They always talked about them being in the wind. So I feel like that was kind of a little throwback to The Shield. I know it's a common phrase, but let me have my dreams, folks. Anything fun in the chat room?
Everybody thinks that Barnes needs a tutorial on how to do his makeup a little better. Also, Lone Wolf Pack thinks he's going to go get a new hand and then he'll come back.
That's fair. One weird thing I did notice.
What?
Right before the commercial break, they have him slamming his gavel / decapitation tool on the judge's bench, being, guilty, or whatever he was saying. He was slamming it down like a judge does a gavel.
Of course.
And then when they pick back up with the scene later, he's picking it up off of a table and putting it on his hand, the axe thing. I thought it was a weird little continuity gaffe that generally Gotham doesn't have.
Well, maybe you just missed something.
Possibly. Or maybe
I'm going to blame you.
Okay, blame me.
I blame you, not Gotham.
Because people don't know this. After 100 episodes, I guess it's finally time to reveal it. I am the prop master on Gotham. So, I have to take care of that axe. When Penguin gets thrown in the water, I need to make sure the water is murky.
He has a tuna sandwich, but not too murky?
But not too murky. But not too moiky.
Not too moiky.
Not too moiky.
Oh, throwbacks. See, that's what we should have had queued up.
Oh, but not
murky,
too
but
moiky.
not too moiky.
Okay, so you wanted to talk a little bit about Barnes too, right?
I do. So am I the only one who finds Robo Barnes to be a little bit odd?
No.
He takes... No? Good. Excellent. He takes forever to even mention really killing Gordon. However, Catherine says one thing he doesn't like and he slices her head off. So I thought that it was a little bit inconsistent with the character.
Yeah.
I think that it had a bit to do with the fact that him and Jim had a history. So it was a little bit harder for him to maybe make that jump, as to where Catherine, the only real history they had was permission to go after Gordon, which he didn't really care whether he had or not. I do think it's going to be interesting if this whole the virus and your previous relationships affects how you behave a bit, how that works with Lee and Jim. And Lee, really Lee and anybody, because she has relationships with a lot of people.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, we definitely know that Lee's going to be coming after Jim in a big, big way.
Right.
As soon as we see her again.
Yes.
Literally the second we see her again.
Probably, yes.
Although, didn't the virus, it had kind of like a warming up mechanism where it took a few days?
A few weeks.
Yeah, or a few weeks, something like that.
Well, it was a few episodes. We don't have that many.
We shall see. And why was Barnes wearing the makeup mask when everybody knew who he was?
That's the question.
That is the question. Okay, so I guess it's time. Wrap up the... Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up the discussion here. As usual, at the end of the episode, if you haven't listened to one of our episodes, one of our 100 episodes...
100! There's 100 of them, honey.
The way we do this is to kind of decide what we feel about the episode. We pick a random number, a random thing from the episode, and then we throw it out to us and to you in the chat room to decide how we feel about the episode using an arbitrary scale. So this week's arbitrary scale, I'm going to go with 1,024 Edwards. Anne Marie.
Edward.
Out of 1,024 Edwards, how many Edwards do you give this episode?
982.
Why?
Because while there is a lot of stuff that happened and lots of things geared up, nothing terribly big happened other than Catherine being killed to me. And Lee, shooting herself up with the virus, which was a little cray. But I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I don't even think it's going to be next week. I think it's going to be that 2-hour season finale that's going to feel like 4 hours or half an hour.
Where the classic Batman rogue, the shoemaker, shows up. The shoemaker shows up. That's a really good joke if you understand it.
Yeah, I know.
Over in the chat room, I just wanted to point out this little exchange. The Powell family says, what's Lee's supervillain trait? And Lone Wolf Pack says whining, and Dean says annoying. That was good stuff. Also over in the chat room, we have, let's see, Powell family gives it 1,000 Edwards. Derby Kid gives it 1,003 Edwards. Powell family says it still needed more Bruce.
Very
true. And then Lone Wolf Pack gives it 999 Edwards and 1 Riddler for the gore.
That's fair.
Definitely very fair.
What do you give it?
What do I give it? I don't give it anything. I refuse to give it anything.
Okay.
Let's see. Dean gives it 999 Edwards without Barnes makeups, 12 Edwards with Barnes makeup. And then Bobby Hawk gives it 700 Edwards.
Ooh, Bobby Hawk's had some haterade on it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I'm going to...
I look forward to that voicemail then.
I'm going to go a little on the lower side here, but I still like the episode. I'm going to give it 975 Edwards.
Only a few less Edwards than me.
And I think the main reason is I was just a little disappointed with how the Executioner came out. The execution of it was a little off for me. Cobble Pottery says 999 Edwards. It felt like
that's a very popular number tonight.
It felt like a setup type of episode. Highest point for me was the banter between Ed and Oz. Gotta love them being absolute assholes to each other, but still having enough respect to uphold a no-kill rule.
I did love that they had the no-kill rule, that they had 6 hours before they were allowed.
Though Oz had to look backwards just to be sure, and I noticed that too, for sure. Bobby Hawk says his score isn't that low. It works out to 2/3.
Okay.
Yeah, so good times, great oldies, 100 episodes, Anne-Marie.
Wow.
Amazing. And now, on to the news.
News.
First up, the ratings. Gotham rose a 10th up to 1.0 for Fox. So, obviously, ratings are in the dump. They're going to get canceled. Just kidding.
Wow. Don't scare people.
Okay, I won't scare people anymore.
There are some people that think we're an official podcast.
Yeah, there are. That's very true.
A lot. We're not, guys.
Yeah, we should, kind of take a nice breezy way through the back half of the episode here. We have actually gotten emails from a 14-year-old kid
who wanted to be cast on the show.
Who wanted to be cast on the show as young Clark Kent. Another from a 12-year-old kid who asked us if we could stop using so much profanity on the show because his parents wouldn't let him watch it.
We only use as much as is on the actual...
No, I don't mean on our
the actual
podcast.
Show?
I mean actually on Gotham. They emailed us to see if we could get them to stop using so much profanity on Gotham.
Dude, we have no control. We got some sweatshirts. That's about all the more we've got.
And we have some good friends on the show. A couple of whom we've heard from tonight.
It's very true.
Yeah, which is always fun.
It's very true.
Okay, but now let's go ahead and watch the preview for next week's episode, which is called Pretty Hate Machine, a.k.a...
How do I always mess that up?
Because I think the Gotham...
They name them weird?
Yeah, the Gotham official YouTube has been naming them weird things, but it's called Pretty Hate Machine, and it's a reference to Nine Inch Nails' first album. That was the title of their first album. So there's going to be a lot of nails in this episode, I guess.
Yes!
So let's watch the preview here. So we have the Court of Owls, and Bruce Wayne's hanging out with the shaman, and the guy's like, why is Bruce Wayne here? and then Jim is, launching an investigation into all sorts of court hideouts. Hugo Strange loading up the machine. Let's see, Ed and Butch versus Penguin and Ivy. A lot of fighting.
There's some stuff. There's a bomb of sorts. Was that Bruce blowing up a bomb?
Yeah, and then there was some
red
poisonous
smoke.
virus being dispelled into the GCPD. Ooh. So it's gonna be a hell of an episode, guys.
It is gonna be a hell of an episode.
It is gonna be a hell of an episode. And Ben McKenzie, thank you for telling us to subscribe to Gotham. We already subscribed.
We do. We did that a while ago.
But next week when you're done watching that episode, Pretty Little Hate Machine or whatever it's called, I think that's what it's called, Pretty Hate Machine. We want you to let us know what you think about it.
Yes, please.
And a great way to do that is to email us legendsofgotham@gmail.com, tweet us at Legends of Gotham. The Facebook is facebook.com/groups/legendsofgotham. And if you don't leave us a voicemail, we will decapitate you. 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. We love your head. Don't make us cut it off, Bobby.
Hey guys, it's Bobby. A lot going on in Gotham again. I guess with only a few hours left in the season, that's par for the course. This is an episode I feel like everyone's been waiting for as far as the full evolution of the Executioner. Cool outfit, guillotine's a nice touch. I don't know what was up with the mascara gone crazy in his eyes, but I really didn't care for the portrayal, quite honestly. I don't know if it was necessarily the portrayal, but just in general.
I am shocked that Bobby agrees with me.
In general, I was just a bit underwhelmed. I don't know exactly what I was looking for or what I was expecting, but with such a build-up to this episode, I just feel like it was kind of a meh for me. As far as Gordon and his pursuit of the Court of Owls, apparently Catherine's no longer going to be a problem, thanks to the Executioner. Pretty rad scene there. But okay, so who's in power? So Catherine hasn't been the one who's been totally in power from the beginning. If she isn't, who is? First thing you would say is the shaman, but with the revelation of tonight, unless that's a lie, that I don't think that's the case either. We've been told through casting news that we'd be getting Ra's al Ghul, but of course with so few episodes left, I don't see that happening either, unless it's just like the button of the season to set up the next the next season, next storyline.
That's my theory, is that it's going to be like, that's going to be the season cliffhanger, is Ra's al Ghul and Harley Quinn, and then off to the
something
summer.
Crazy,
so maybe he is the one running it, who knows. But as far as the shaman goes, I'm going to go with the revelation, as far as with what happened tonight, I'm going to double down with my theory in saying that if he's not Bruce's grandfather, he's like some sort of relation. Being that he was so upset by the murder of the Waynes, I think that maybe the Waynes and the Gordons were working together to try to take down the court, which would be kind of poetic, being that a Wayne and a lone Wayne and a lone Gordon are what is left in the end to protect Gotham. As far as Ed and Oswald are concerned, I really enjoyed the dynamic tonight of the we have to kill each other, but in order to kill each other, we have to get out of here. So there's a truce, but once I get out of here, I'm totally killing you. I thought all of that was pretty cool. Alfred found out in this episode that Yanni Bruce is not Bruce. First off, that fight scene was pretty cool. Very cool choreography with all three concerned, especially considering two of them are minors. That being said, with that fireplace poker, the way he hit those guys, and there's no way there wasn't more damage than that. Alfred had like a bloody nose from the headbutts, and Selena had like a little bruise on her cheek. There would have been some blood involved, at the very least. But that's just a tangent. How did Alfred not know? I thought we all agreed that, shepherd's pie.
I thought we all had a discussion about this.
And he was just biding his time. So he didn't know. Then why was the shepherd's pie scene there to begin with? That irked me, to be quite honest with you. And if we're gonna stick on the subject of irking, what is going on with Lee? As soon as I saw that scene in the beginning with the dream sequence and her and drinking the blood, blah blah blah, I was like, no, you're not going to. No, you're not going to. As soon as I saw that scene, I knew what was going to happen.
I was kind of attracted to Lee after she drank that blood.
And so, throughout the episode, we were given little to no motivation as to why she would do this. In fact, through the course of the episode, it almost seemed as if she was going to go the opposite direction, and then this happened. So as far as her being a regular next season, unless she's the regular baddie, I really don't see that happening. So maybe she was just hanging out, giving her, hanging out with her hubby at the upfronts. Out of 9 talons, bloody talon fingers, I'm going to give it 6 out of 9 bloody talon fingers. So happy 100 episodes, Bill and Amory, and here's to 2 more.
There we go. Somebody got it right.
Which, by the way, I don't know if people are aware of this. We used to do a Once Upon a Time podcast called Greetings from Storybrooke. Bobby and a few of our other listeners took it over for us when we gave it up last year.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to be triumphantly returning this week on Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. EST, I think, or 9 p.m.
Somewhere around there.
Keep an eye on my Twitter, @BillMeeks, to talk about the series finale of Once Upon a Time. So very excited about that.
Yes,
very
he knows it's the season finale, but it should have been the series finale. Things they will discuss.
No, it's the series finale.
Continuing.
Twitch.tv/UniverseBox is where it's going to be. And yeah, just keep an eye out on my Twitter, @BillMeeks, or the podcast Twitter, @GFStorybrooke for that. And thanks, Bobby, for calling in.
Thank you, sir.
Next up is Joel. Take it away, Joel.
Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie. It's
Hey,
Joel from Portland. I've been out of touch for a bit, but I had to call in for the 100th episode. It's so great that the 100th episode had to come with such a great episode last night. One thing that I always wondered about, and they finally, I guess, got around to doing it, is why didn't you just put the owl back together, like within the same episode or the episode after it broke? All of a sudden they said, oh, it's just been in this box this whole time, and we have a guy down at the lab who can piece it together. I mean, those pieces didn't look to be too shattered up. It seemed like they were just big block pieces. You could just put them together. But anyways, that is such a small part of a much bigger episode. Let's give it up for I'm not a cop, I'm a butler, and I stab you in the hand. That's the most BA that we've ever seen. Alfred, I'm surprised that he didn't realize...
You can say badass, it's cool.
Realize that wasn't Bruce earlier on. It seems like he has a lot of intellect to put 2 and 2 together and realize the differences. You know, earlier in episodes when he was playing chess with Bruce. I mean, little things like that. The way that somebody interacts, maybe even the way that he plays chess should be a tell to somebody like Alfred. Maybe he was just so involved with Bruce changing as a person and getting better at fighting and learning to be a different person that he didn't notice it, but it
he was like, oh, Bruce is finally going through puberty.
Seemed like something that should have came up. But yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that Catherine's not the head of anything. And I'm not even believing right now that the shaman is part of the Court of Owls. Maybe they sent him to him. This whole episode felt very Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, like together we can destroy Catherine and, you know, rule Gotham as grandpa and grandson. But anyways, those are just my thoughts. Hope you guys have a great show tonight. Even if I don't tune in, I'm not in the chat room. 100 episodes is a great thing to celebrate. So until next time, you guys take care. And once again, I'm not a cop. I'm a butler.
Nice. Thank you, Joel. Lone Wolfpack over in the chat room says, I think Alfred may have suspected that wasn't Bruce, but the stab wound was confirmation.
Yeah.
Which I could see. By the way, I think we have another message from Joel here that came in right after we started the episode. Let's try it. I should have been ready to hit play on this, but
possibly vamping.
Hey, Bill and Emery, it's Joel again from Portland.
Hi.
I just couldn't help but thinking another thought. How great would it have been if Alfred turned to Jim after, or turned to even whoever they were talking to and said, "Damn it, Jim, I'm a butler, not a cop." It'd just be straight out of Star Trek. It'd be very Bones-like. Anyways, last thought. Bye.
That was worth the wait, Joel. Thank you.
Totally worth the
much,
wait.
Definitely. Okay, let's see here. We do have a couple letters here, too. One from Mikey. Mikey says, just thought I would drop another line. Congrats on the 100th episode. Now for a few thoughts about tonight's episode. 1. Did anyone else catch the Catwoman music from Batman Returns in the background when Alfred was talking to Selina and she was throwing a pity party? I did not notice that, but good catch. Number 2, I guess the Court of Owls needs a new head. LOL. I cracked myself up. Streets ahead right there. Okay, number 3, I believe I will pass on red Jell-O from now on. But what if you need to break out of the birdcage? Okay, number 4, I believe a Lee as Harley and a Jerome as Joker would be an interesting team up. You disagree with a lot of people in the chat room, but
we all disagree with you, but that's okay.
Anyways, thanks again, y'all, and looking forward to this week's podcast. Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, and next up we have one from...
Hey, everybody! Old Man Bert here. I'm just calling to wish you kids at Legends of Gotham a happy 100th episode. Now, I don't know what a Gotham is, but it sounds like some kind of turtle or something. But I'll tell you, I do know a thing or two about reaching 100. You know, me being only a few years shy of that myself. Now, I don't watch much of the TV these days. Only the Matlock and the Jeopardy. Oh, and well, of course, the occasional
The Matlock Jeopardy.
murder, she wrote. That Angela Lansbury, yeah, she really gets me under the collar. Man.
I really hope they bring her to Gotham.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, for sure.
Dead as old as time.
Gotham, she wrote.
She's got elbows that go for days. Oh. Wait, oh, that's the nurse saying it's medication time again. I don't know what they put in those pills, but they sure do make me feel happy. Oh, I better let you kids go. I don't know if it's your bedtime, but it's probably time for me to take another nap. So, until next time, I just remember what old Bert says. You're only as old as you feel. And I feel like an old moldy sack of potatoes. Well, at least down below the trousers. Okay, kids. Have a good night now. Bye.
Thank you.
I think.
Let's see. A Cowboy Pottery said, also, what is this message? LOL. And I said, no idea, but I love it. And Cowboy Pottery says also, effing crying. This is amazing. So, good.
To which Wynn says, get off my lawn.
Always great to
good.
get messages from random characters.
I enjoyed the characters.
From around Gotham. Okay, Frank over on YouTube says, hey, Bill and Emery, I have a thought and would like to know what you think. What do you think about Gabe turning into Solomon Grundy? Think about it. He is big, he is dumb, and he just died, too. Perfect for Grundy.
That's all you need to be Grundy.
I think that would be cool. A, I would love it. B, probably not going to happen, because I know I said this before about a different character, but I'm pretty sure that they also said it about Solomon Grundy, that it would be a character we didn't know. So I would say, you know, maybe Matlock is... What a perfect Solomon Grundy Matlock would make. Andy Griffith is playing Solomon Grundy on Gotham. You heard it here first, folks. And we're going to wrap up with the voicemail from Mike Pasqua.
Couple of questions. One, is Bruce playing with his new so-called master?
Yes.
And two, what effect will the test virus have on Lee?
Hopefully she'll be entertaining.
Maybe she'll become super nurturing like she's supposed to be in the comics.
And she's not at
I
all
don't know.
on the show.
But thanks for calling in, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Obviously, next week we want to hear from you.
All of you.
We're not done yet. We still have 2 episodes going here. We'd love to hear from you and hear your thoughts about Gotham. Right after you're done watching the episode, do not hesitate a second or you might be too late. You can email us legendsofgotham@gmail.com. You can tweet us at legendsofgotham. Facebook is facebook.com/groups/legendsofgotham. And if you want to receive the Tetch virus via telephone, 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. We won't decapitate you, but we will give you a virus.
We might decapitate you in a few weeks, though.
Possibly. Very possibly. But we want to thank our chatters over at twitch.tv/universebox who are joining us Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. EST. We love having you guys over there. Cobble Potteries, Dean, Fegwin, Hawks. You guys know who you are.
Lone Wolf Pack, something I can't pronounce. Win, Derby Kid, Pal Family.
And Lone Wolf Pack in the chat room says, do not pass go, do not collect $200. I wanted to collect $200 though.
I really could use $200. I'd like to go shopping.
But yeah,
I
it's
need
been
new
a
clothes.
Great time. We're going to be back here next week talking Gotham. Anne-Marie, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at DeSimone, and I'm way more active than I used to be. So come talk to me, please. I'm bored.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow all of the stuff we do at universebox.com here and in perpetuity. And you can also catch me this Thursday, 8:30 p.m. or 9 EST at twitch.tv/universebox talking about the series finale of Once Upon a Time. It's going to be great. I'm going to be going back to my OG podcast, Greetings from Storybrooke, to wrap it up. Anne-Marie's
I have a
out.
meeting.
Yeah, she has a thing.
PTA biz.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm cool.
But thank you guys so much for joining us for this 100th episode. It's been such a blast. We hope you enjoyed that Gotham fan trailer that aired on Fox Television.
We were on national TV,
We
y'all.
were on national TV on a Gotham commercial.
I would like to point out in that, okay, so he gave us scenes when we were doing this, and you were like, hey, this is the character I need you to play. I knew nothing. Like nothing of any of these characters. And he's like, be like really rough and da-da-da-da. And like the way he told me to dress was kind of masculine. So I thought I was playing a male character. And I was not. I was
playing Essen.
Yeah, I was playing Essen. And he just kept saying Essen. And to me that meant nothing because I had no idea.
Well,
and I would like to apologize because I've never apologized to the poor actress. I did a horrible job and yet they put it on national TV. So I'm sorry.
I've always felt like Essen was sort of like a rough character in the comic books.
She was not a rough character on this show.
No, she wasn't.
She was not. She was a beautiful woman, and they killed her off. I loved her.
Join us next week for more
Legends of Gotham. Hashtag ranting time, sorry.
Hashtag lots of ranting time. Jeez.
It's 3 years of build-up on that one. Like, it made me mad. I have problems.
Derby Kid will see us next week also.
I need more wine and I'm out.
100! Off with her head.
No, take away her wine. Hashtag bye-bye. I only had one glass.
All right, guys, don't
we were out.
We still have some episode titles to decide on here. I'm going to paste them in the chat room so we can all vote on them in just a moment.
I don't even know what.
There they are. Okay, so let's see here. We have The Whole Bloody Affair, a monocle...
A monologue. A monocle built for two.
A monologue built for two. What's Eating Nathaniel Barnes? Yanni Bruce, Face or Fiction. Hashtag Butler Life. Grow the Face. I'm not sure where that came from.
Because we were growing the Bruce face.
Yeah, The Subject of Irking. And Matlock is Grundy. So, Bobby votes for Irking. We have one for Irking, one for hashtag Butler Life. What do you vote?
Butler Life.
Butler Life. Hashtag Butler Life.
And it was only one glass on camera and off. Thank you very much.
I'm going to have to vote for a monologue built for two.
Well, that's because you wrote that line.
Yeah.
How about
hashtag Butler Life?
Butler Life is up to 4 votes.
We do have a lot of people in the chat room.
I know.
So we're going to give it another minute here. Hashtag Butler Life.
That's 5 votes.
Hashtag
6
Butler
votes. It's hashtag Butler Life, y'all.
You guys disappoint me. I'm just kidding.
You disappoint me, Bill.
I disappoint me too. I do disappoint me. Okay, well, if you guys didn't catch it off the top, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play that video one more time here.
That I ranted on.
Yeah, and then we're just going to cut the stream. So have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.
There is a war coming. A terrible war. There will be chaos. Rivers of blood in the streets. I know it.
Every criminal in the city will start making moves.
Follow up on the Arkham connection.
Arkham's
been closed
for 10 years.
Man, you're hurting yourself.
I'm testing myself.
Somebody has to take over.
It might as well be me.
I'm gonna do this right. You're beginning to irritate me.
However dark and scary the world might be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
I just anyone ever tell you when you walk, you look just like a penguin?
No one's ever told me that.
I just want to point out that I was only the second live action actor to ever play Harvey Bullock on national television. And I was also maybe like the 4th or 5th to play Jim Gordon, because I was both Gordon and Bullock in that.
I was Fish Mooney.
Night, guys.